Shameless plug incoming. Today's episode is brought to you by the book Everyone is a Sinner But Me, available now at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. Pre-recorded from Volpes Studios, it's the MCS1 show featuring Caleb Hanna and now your host, MCS1.
Welcome! Welcome everyone to another exciting edition of the MCS1 show. I'm MCS1, once again joined via satellite. My dear compadre, buddy, pal, friend, insert other source-related words for friend
those
here.
Those
Caleb
are words.
Hannon! What?
Yeah.
What'd you say? Those are words?
Those are words.
Those are words. I want that on my tombstone. Those are words. Like,
dude,
quoting you.
Oh man, you know what? I will make that shiz happen.
Oh gosh, man, we got a lot to talk about today. So everyone, before we get into our topic, this is completely unrelated. We're at our 99th episode. Not that we got anything special planned for the big 100 coming up next week, but we're at our 99th episode. And our 100th episode is next week. Just throwing that out there. Not that it's related to anything, but I just want to throw that out there. That's all. All right.
It's a great day for our show and for everyone who listens to it.
Yes, I'd like to thank the Academy and
not them. Those guys are dicks.
So. Let's get into our topic today.
A great topic.
Great topic. This is going to be way too much fun.
Absolutely.
We've kind of gotten away from. We haven't really gotten away from it, I should say. We've been kind of focusing on society, mostly in Happy Valley and the cultural norms of there. That's become kind of the staple of the show, and we haven't really discussed anything involving counterculture, besides maybe the Juggalo March.
Yeah, but I mean that was incredibly necessary.
Incredibly necessary, yes. So never mind. I was gonna be like, we kind of haven't been discussing counterculture lately, except for when we did it last week.
Perfect. You're welcome for the consistency, listeners.
I should have wrote that in my notes, but I didn't plan ahead. I was like, I'm going to give this big speech apologizing for not talking about counterculture, and I did it last week, so what the hell? So we're kind of following into a little bit of ridiculous music, clown-esque theme, which I'm excited about. So we've been focusing on Happy Valley. It's been kind of the staple of the show, and I want to bring up some more counterculture stuff. And so I had the perfect opportunity a couple weeks ago to see this band called Sabbath. And I'm going to get into these guys, who they are, what they do, and why they're awesome. So quick confession, despite how much I dog on people who can't let go of high school and things like that, and just high school in general, I still hang out with my best friend from high school.
Hey man, no, I mean, so do I.
Yeah, yeah.
No shame.
Yeah, and I think that's probably kind of how I met. I'm not sure if Shane's your best friend, Kayla, but I think that's kind of how we met, because you and Shane used to hang out like a ton in high school.
It's true. I mean, Shane is definitely up there, but he's a dick for not listening to our show.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's definitely a dick.
I can't put him in the top 5
because of that. I wouldn't either. He was going to be pretty up there for me, but the fact that he always, 1, dogs on the show, and 2, doesn't listen to the show. I can't even put him in like the top, I don't even have him in the top 1,000 people I claim to know.
Well, it's like,
except
hasn't he been on the show? Like,
what'd you say?
Hasn't he been on the show?
Yes,
Why would
he's even been on the show? Like, what a prick, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, So I'm hanging out with my best friend from high school, and he's always on he's one of these guys that's usually kind of always on his phone, which is like everyone these days.
Right.
I kind of
Right.
take pride in the fact that I'm not always on my phone. I'm on my phone a little bit, but not as much as other people. And
That's fair because most people are constantly on it.
my gosh, it's kind of freaky, but another rant for another time.
Right.
So he goes through Imgur a lot, scrolling through pictures and stuff, and
Sure.
and normally he's getting memes and stuff like that. Random fact one pops up, like where it's a picture with some random words at the bottom, and it says there is a McDonald's themed metal band known as Max Sabbath.
Oh man!
And I saw the picture, and I'm like, what is this? And it was like a picture of an evil looking Ronald McDonald. And
Dude, he always looks evil. Come on, man.
well, more so evil. Like,
So he looks the same.
kind of, yeah. Well, with like, I don't know, this Ronald, we'll get into more of what this one looks like later on.
Sure.
I'll
Sure,
go
sure, sure.
through all the costumes of Max Sabbath. But he showed this to me, and I'm just like, what is this? And it just stuck with me. And
Sure.
so later that night, I looked these guys up on YouTube. Like, I had to know what they sounded like because here's the thing: their costumes were like high quality. It was like for a parody band, I was kind of like impressed. Even from that picture that I saw of them, I'm like, that's cool. So I looked them up on YouTube, and they had the first video that like popped up was their only actual like music video they've made, called "Pair of Buns," which is an obvious parody of "Paranoid" by Black Sabbath. Caleb, have you seen this video? Did you watch this?
Yeah, this is one of the ones that I watched.
So,
and it was amazing. I have to say that, like, I'm obviously very new to Max Sabbath, but oh my gosh,
so
I was blown away, honestly, by the quality.
And this is coming from Caleb. Caleb has a event. So about half the videos in claymation.
Yeah, which is horrifying, but
and Caleb has a vendetta against claymation.
Yeah, mostly because it's shit.
And I feel completely differently about it. Like 100% differently.
Honestly, it just freaks me out. Like watching some of those old claymation movies, I'm just like, this is horrifying.
What ones freak you out? What Wallace and Gromit like scare you?
No, Wallace and Gromit don't freak me out. Come on, man, give me some credit.
Does the way Gumby slide scare you? Like what's
definitely
about claymation?
Okay. We're gonna clear the air on this real quick because I don't want people to think I'm a giant pussy. I mean, they're not totally wrong, but not a giant one. I mean, come on, guys, give me some credit.
I just want to know which one freaks you out.
No,
I'm not
honestly, dude, the Jack Frost one freaks me out.
What Jack Frost one?
You never seen the Jack Frost one?
No.
Okay, so it's one of those. It's one of those like old timey Christmas ones, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, also creepy. Or Santa Claus is coming to town, also creepy.
Is it in that same universe as the claymation Rudolph? Okay, I might have seen that. I have them all on DVD.
Okay.
For Christmas, yet I have not watched it in the 2 years. No, probably 5 years I've owned the DVD. I ended up watching A Christmas Story with my mom instead, which was bought around the same time. So,
I mean, that's always fun, but no, just okay. First of all, the animation in the Jack Frost one is it's just weird. I don't like it. There are other claymations, like for instance, I'm fine with Chicken Run.
Okay. So it's not just any in particular, it's just the old school ones.
It's just it's like the really old, awful, like looks like they were made by people that honestly just had some weird ideas for body shapes and stuff like that. It's just odd stuff,
I can get behind that. I'll allow it.
But really quick, one of the lines from that Jack Frost movie, and this is probably why it creeps me out a little more than it should. But it's like there's this one lady, and like everybody's really excited for winter and blah blah blah, and then it comes late because Jack Frost is doing something stupid, probably. I don't remember the plot, but there's a line in the movie where this, the main female protagonist goes, "I just want Jack Frost to touch all of us," and I was like,
Oh,
okay, I don't.
and that's what did it, huh?
Yeah, well, and also I'm like, Jack Frost is like that thing that happens when you're just like, you know, about to get frostbite and your limbs start falling off. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely don't want
So
him to
it's a
touch me. I'm okay.
combination of bad writing, weird body shape, and awkward frames per second.
Also, it was just the tone that she said it in. I can't mimic it very well, but it was clearly like, it clearly wasn't meant to be anything like creepy or sexual or anything like that, but it kind of came off that way. You know what I mean?
Okay, seems fair.
And so that
But
was just like, ugh, kind of gave me the chills.
yeah, but the video didn't make you feel that way. The Max Sabbath
Oh
video.
heck no! The Max Sabbath video was dope. Are you kidding me? That was
so,
awesome.
so for those who haven't seen the video, which is I'm assuming is like nearly everyone listening to this,
I was gonna say like 99% of our audience.
probably 99% of our audience. The video it starts off with them like basically. I'm pretty sure it's L.A. because
Right.
they're based out of L.A. But like
Sure.
kind of like a graffitied area in LA, like back behind an alley, like streets, running around, singing. Like this is a real life part. And just being overly aggressive, like 90s aggressive into the camera. And it's pretty
Yeah.
humorous. It's pretty good. And then it switches to like claymation where it's like Colonel Sanders, the Hardy Star, couple other like fast food mascots just walking down an alley, and then they see Ronald Osborne on the
Oh
other end, and then
no.
Ronald just picks a fight with all of these guys with the Max Sabbath crew, and
As he should.
yeah, and they end up like shooting guns at each other, and there's like claymation blood and all this other stuff, and it's ridiculously hilarious. I got a link to it on the blog at the ncs1show.com. I highly recommend checking it out because it's pretty good. And here's the thing about it: the quality of the way the song was mixed for the music video was really good, like insanely well mixed.
Especially for a cover band that's like clearly meant to be a parody.
Yeah, yeah, that kind of
You
blew
know?
me away. I was like, wow, this is really high quality sound mixing. And
Yeah.
I got a
I was genuinely impressed.
I got a theory. So these guys, they haven't really revealed their quote identities. Because they're all
Okay.
wearing costumes, which we'll get into that in a little bit. I have a feeling these guys were like some professional musicians or producers or something. And then one day they're like, guys, it'd be really funny if we did this type of thing. And I think that's I, where they came from in real life. If I had to guess, because the way they perform and conduct themselves, they're good.
Yeah, dude.
And you can tell they've done it before.
Oh,
Like they're not,
absolutely.
they're not just some guys in their like early 30s, um, who were like, yeah, let's start that band, man. Like these guys, they know what they're doing. They're definitely professional.
100%. 100%. Totally agree.
So
And I mean, they're talented too. Like
yeah,
because I watched another one of the videos that was like that live show that I mean
the
was
one on
obviously
Cyrus
recorded.
XM.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, their sound even from that recording, which obviously isn't because live shows when you record a live show, it's not like recording in a studio, so the sound quality isn't going to be great.
Oh,
You
for
know,
sure.
and obviously because it's live, like people can make mistakes and all of that. But honestly, it was pretty great.
Yeah, their tone that they're using for all their instruments and like the way they're setting it up and compression and everything,
Mm-hmm.
they know what they're doing, and
Exactly.
that to me says something right there. So let's get into these guys of like who they are. So Max Sabbath, they claim to be founders of a genre called drive-through metal.
Is that really a thing? Because
I think
I
they
wasn't sure.
I think they made it a thing.
Sure.
I don't think it was something that was real, and then well, they're the founders of it, so I'm guessing. I'm guessing
I guess it is a thing now.
it's a thing. It's a thing, and they're the founders of it. And so they cover these they cover Black Sabbath songs with very fast food related themes. Here's a couple of
dope.
Yeah. So here's a couple of examples. Frying Pan, which is a parody of Iron Man.
I haven't heard that one yet. I'll be honest, but I can only imagine.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Pair of Buns, which is the
I've heard that one.
Paranoid
Obviously.
parody that we talked about earlier. They got a music video for. Sweet Beef, parody of Sweet Leaf, and then Never Say Diet, parody of Never Say Die. Now, all the band members here, they're basically like very dark versions of the Ronald McDonald Land characters.
Right.
And I think it's kind of cool. Because their costume. Here's the thing about their costumes too. They're not cheap. Like they're pretty high quality. Like
totally.
They put in some serious effort into making these suckers. So let's talk about the front man here, Ronald Osborne. The makeup alone is great. He's got like these dark circles around his eyes, like a skull. And then he's got like a sugar skull type thing, like Day of the Dead-esque teeth on his lips. Like his teeth are like white, and then they got the black lines on them to make him look, very Day of the Dead type. Way cool. So every time he's got his mouth closed, he looks like he's gritting his teeth.
Yep.
Just naturally, because you don't really think about it when like he's singing. You don't really see his actual teeth because it's kind of dark usually.
Right.
And it's really interesting design just to do that on his face. But he always has like this look like he's angry. But the fact is, he's also always smiling.
Yeah, which is honestly a little unnerving.
Which is a little unnerving, but kind of hilarious. Like he knows what he's doing. It's really cool.
Absolutely.
It's interesting to see that dynamic alone, and then his wig, his hair. He's foregoing the Ronald McDonald fro or the clown fro that's been like a staple for most clowns. For those of you who have went to clown college and studied this.
I've never had a pair of pants fit so well.
Yeah. But and he's got like it's like the Ronald McDonald like crazy red, but it's like longer hair, and I think that was a pretty sweet move. And then he's got like all these what are they called? The things hanging from his arms, Caleb. They're like
the tassels or whatever.
Tassels or streamers.
Yeah.
Something like
the
that.
Things that cowboys used to have on their shirts.
Yeah, and they're like long, and it's it's interesting. And then he's got also the clown boots.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at one of the so they have a bunch of images online, obviously.
On the internet.
Yeah, on the old internet. So I just Googled them really quick just so that I could have a good reference point. And there's one of them on like a play place, and he's got those huge friggin' clown shoes. Man.
Yeah, like man.
And honestly, that alone is impressive enough to be like, wow, this guy, he's good.
Yeah, and the thing about this guy is he's just a walking ball of fun. Like he's a very interactive front man with people, and he's got the Aussie laugh down. And he
honestly, yeah.
And he uses,
as far as I can tell, totally.
Yeah, and he uses it a lot, and he always says, "Yeah," like not Little John status, but pretty good. So that's Ronald Osborne. Then we got Slayer McCheese, the guitarist, and Mayor Mc.
I just love their names, man. I can't get over the names.
Yeah, the names are
Awesome.
good. Like they're very well parodied. But Slayer McCheese. So it's like Mayor McCheese, obviously. Like that type of costume, like that giant hamburger head, but he's got these giant tusks just coming out of like the sides of his quote burger mouth, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Right.
And then he's dressed up like some of the original Max Sabbath guitarist for his actual wardrobe.
Right.
And I think that's it's a pretty good combination right there.
Agreed.
More
especially because he's got the creepy big eyes, and
yeah.
the
Now
nose.
with his creepy big eyes, they move around like these googly eyes.
Oh, freak! That's awesome. Actually.
Well, when I saw them live here in Omaha, and we'll be getting to that shortly, one of his eyes was like moving around like crazy, and the other one was kind of stuck. And it was kind of like seeing someone with a glass eye trying to look around the room, that type of thing.
Right.
But it was entertaining. So cool costume. And the thing is, he got some kind of weird harness in there because he can like headbang and move around with that thing.
That's impressive.
Very impressive. Now the next one we have Grimulus, the bassist.
Nice.
And I gotta hand it to this guy. So I'm a bassist myself, but the way this guy plays, I should say everyone, Slayer McCheese and Grimulus, the way they're playing with these heavy costumes on and rocking out, and like I don't know, probably burning up inside of these things. Mad props, guys. Mad respect.
Totally, man.
Like just insane. So Grimulus, he's got like a Slash-esque top hat on his head, like tilted to the side.
Yeah, it looks like it's like falling off of his head.
Yeah, and I thought that was great.
A bold choice. A bold choice.
Because it's kind of like, well, what do you do with a Grimace outfit? I mean,
yeah.
you kind of, I don't know what I would do, but he's also got like a tongue sticking out. And then he's got like, it looks like he's like balding on the top because he has like this hair behind, like he's gone bald on top and he has like this long hair like around his ears to the back.
Yeah, he's got that long haired hippie halo.
Yeah, it's like I want to stay young and be free, but I also just turned 40 this year. It's that kind of thing.
Well, it looks great though. That's all I know.
And now that I'm thinking about it, with the tongue and the bass, a couple other things, I kind of see a little bit of Gene Simmons inspiration going on here.
Nice.
Just a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I can see that. Just a bit.
Just a bit. Just a bit.
Just a little bit.
So finally, we get to the drummer, Cat Burglar.
Who doesn't love Cat Burglar?
I like Cat Burglar. Great drummer. All these guys. Here's the thing about all these musicians. Like, I could go off and start a Black Sabbath cover band, and if I just knew Black Sabbath songs. But not all Black Sabbath songs are exactly easy to play. Not everything's Iron.
Right. No, they do have some songs that are a little bit more technically difficult.
Exactly. And then for these guys to be wearing these outfits.
Ridiculous outfits.
Ridiculous outfits doing it. And then on top of that, not laughing.
Right? I thought that was the most impressive part, is I was like, wow, these guys aren't like busting a gut while trying to do this.
I bet they probably are inside their suits. They're just like
oh, they have to be, dude. Like just chuckling.
So Cat Burglar, he's got like Hamburglar outfit, but his face is painted up like a cat
Okay.
type of thing, like with the whiskers and I don't know. I kind of like his outfit because he's got like a little cape type of thing, and he
Yep.
kind of reminds me of Zorro in a way.
As he should. As he
Yeah.
should.
So that's the basic band layout that we got here of these guys. So when I shortly after I watched their video, I was like, I wonder if these guys are touring, playing any shows. I gotta know. Um, and so I looked into it, and there was one coming up in like a couple months, which was about maybe 2 weeks ago, a little about 2 weeks ago. There
Right.
was one playing in Omaha at a venue called the Waiting Room. So my friend and I, we booked tickets, and man, we did not know what we were in for. We had an idea, but we did not know. So we showed up
Yeah,
at
you don't even know.
you
You
don't
don't
even
even
know,
know
like
what was gonna
you don't
happen.
even know. You don't even know what type of show you're in for. And so my friend's one of these people that like arrives super early to everything. And so we arrived early to a show, which something I like don't really like to do anymore, to be honest. I'm at that age where I kind of want to just go in like after the opening band's about done and be like, all right, that's good enough for me, type of thing. But we went in, and first thing we did was check out the merchandise booth there, and the guy selling the merchandise was all dressed up, um, like he like an old school McDonald's employee from like the 50s with the weird hats, um, basically a present day In-N-Out worker, I should say. Probably a good way
Yeah.
of putting it. Um, and the stuff they were selling was really interesting. They were selling like glow in the dark T-shirts, coloring books, which I thought was a really interesting choice because you don't really see bands selling coloring books.
I mean, but it's, in
I
light of
mean,
McDonald's.
I mean, bands might be doing this. I mean, Snails, they might have just been sold out
Right. Yeah,
when I
that's what I
got
would
the,
assume.
and then they sell one black crayon to go with it.
A single black
A
crayon.
single black crayon. What color would Trent Reznor's shirt be?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. We could go with the black.
Yeah, let's just roll with the black. So,
Or
so
in or in the immortal words of Archer, "Oh, are they Woodhouse? Or are 5 of them black and the other 5 a slightly darker black?"
yes, for the tactical turtlenecks
Yes, the
or
tactile
the
necks.
tactile neck. So,
Where'd you get your turtleneck? The turtleneck store.
oh man,
So
so
good.
coloring books, and then they had postcards, and the postcards were free, so I totally snagged one.
Of course you did, because that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm kind of a postcard junkie in a way. I collect postcards of random things. I prefer like people sending me postcards for exotic places they've been, and I'll put them up in my office, and people will be like, "Oh, you've been to Paris?" I'll be like, "No,
You'd be like, "No, I didn't go,
no, I
but
didn't
somebody I
go,"
know did."
and they sent it to me. So yeah, it's always something fun. Anyway, aside from that, um, the vendor was pretty cool. He was from
Sure.
LA, and I used to live in LA, so him and I had like a lot to talk about. We talked about how LA doesn't have a rainy season anymore,
Right.
which may or may not be due to global warming. Not a topic for this show. That type. Like how I
I mean, we'll talk
avoided that
about
bullet.
we'll talk about it in our global warming show, obviously.
Yeah. And so we went. We sat. The waiting room's kind of a smaller venue. It was nice. It was a bar venue, and so we got the closest table up front that you could get without actually being like kind of about in front of the stage. So we were about maybe 10, we were about 15 feet from the stage, I'd say 15, 20 feet, I think. And once Max Sabbath came out, everyone just started getting up like in front of the stage. And my friend and I, we got up out of our seats, and we stood the whole time, hands down. And I'm not gonna lie, when they took the stage, the crowd went nuts. This show was extremely entertaining, and that is something I do not often say. I was grinning from ear to ear the whole time. Like, it was hilarious, the stuff these guys were doing. So their stage setup, they had like a big banner in the back, but they had these like Ronald McDonald pole, like clown heads on these poles, and their eyes were opened up to like blink like red lights, and then smoke would come out of their mouth. It was extremely metal.
That's pretty dope.
It was pretty dope. It was like something that would like normally be scary in an 80s movie, but today it
Sure.
was hilarious.
Well, yeah, because we're not scared of things in 80s movies anymore.
No, we're not. Or even 80s movies remakes. Looking at you, It. So
I mean, we all know how it ends.
yeah. So that was pretty cool. And then every song they did, they had something weird going on. Ronald Osborne had these ketchup bottles,
Sure.
mustard and ketchup bottles, and he'd be spraying them. We kept thinking they were full of mustard and ketchup, and there was a part where it looked like during the song he was gonna like spray everyone with them, and I was thinking mustard and ketchup were gonna go all over like this group of teenagers up front, these middle-aged people, hanging out behind them, and I was ready to see plastered like with condiments, and
Right.
and then it was like water, and so that was pretty funny. Like it was just ridiculous. And then he took like, I can't remember if the bottle of like some type of alcohol thing or whatever, but he was pouring it into this bucket, and then he was getting ready, and he throws it out into the audience, and it's dry confetti. Like it was a total like it just messed with you.
Right.
Some of the stuff they were doing, and they were doing that type of stuff a lot. He was squirting water out of his bottles 1 minute, and then they weren't squirting, and he's like, "What's going on?" Opens it up, and then like those little like claw snakes just start jumping out of them.
That's awesome.
It was just, and there was something like this happening every song. So even if you didn't really like understand the lyrics at all, or know the lyrics to sing along, I mean, you understood the music because it was Black Sabbath music,
Right.
but there was something to keep you entertained, and that was the cool thing about it. And then on top of that, they were just all out nice guys, like
That's awesome.
Yeah, busting out the Aussie laugh. And here's the other thing: they were making jokes about other restaurants, but like other restaurant bands, like Iron Denny's or something like that. Like no, Iron Denny's or May Denny's, or like Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
And they were pretty good about it, but never once did they bring up McDonald's or the name. They were very careful to avoid that.
Right, as they should be.
As they should be, and that was pretty cool. The way they just tiptoed around the issue.
I mean, they kind of have to, I'm assuming, because otherwise, I'm sure McDonald's would do something to them.
Yeah. Oh, totally. The other thing I'd like to mention about these guys was their gear was high quality as well. I noticed Slayer McCheese had a Tommy Lamy signature Gibson SG with cross inlays, and that was one of the original Black Sabbath guitarists.
Dude, that's awesome.
Guitars, yeah. And their gear was pretty high quality. It was not cheap gear either, so I was impressed by that.
Oh man, dude, seriously, this sounds like something that I'm gonna have to go to at some point.
You should, dude. You should. I highly recommend it for everyone, because it was a really entertaining show. And here was the thing: they were like joking. They're like, "We're a family band."
Oh, obviously.
And
that's what I would think.
Yeah, totally. I mean, not sure if I'd bring my kids to that or not, but I don't have kids, so it does not matter.
I'll bring mine. It's cool.
But it was definitely a really cool show, and it was way worth the money that I forked out to go. It was only like $20.
That's awesome.
And I
That's
gotta say,
cheap too.
yeah, it was a bang for my buck type of show. About a hour and a half, 2 hour set. Um, great show. Great show. So I recommend checking these guys out. Let's look up the Para Buns video on YouTube. They haven't come out with any iTunes singles or anything like that, but I'm hoping these guys release some type of album because I know it's going to be just great audio and just all out high quality.
Well, especially with the quality that it seems that they have on all the things that they've done so far, you know?
Yeah. Now here's the other thing: these guys don't really grant interviews either.
Fair enough.
So and they always, when they do have an interview, which is very rare, which is why we're doing a show about them rather than with them.
Right.
Not that we didn't even try to get a hold of them because we're lazy. I mean, that's clearly not the reason here, people.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, but they always stay in character, like constantly, and that is awesome.
That's dedication right there.
That's
man.
dedication. Like the whole thing, very well done, very well dedicated, and very well branded.
Absolutely.
I think that's why I'm a huge Max Sabbath fan. But anyway, I highly recommend checking these guys out on YouTube. I'll have some links in the on the website, the mcs1show.com, possibly in the show notes. We'll see. And I think that's our show. So next week, everyone, not trying to push anything crazy, but we are going to have our 100th episode. Not that anything special is planned, but that's going to be our 100th episode.
Other than our 100th episode, right?
Yeah.
That's
I mean, who knows what we'll talk about next week? Maybe we'll.
You don't even know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, you don't even know. I will probably dog on Happy Valley a bit. I mean,
maybe something about counterculture, I guess, if we want.
Yeah. You know, I mean, we'll probably talk about something. Anyway, just want to get that on everyone's schedule, but that's our show. I want to thank Caleb Hennon for coming on.
Absolutely.
And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.
Thank you for listening to the MCS1 Show. For bi-weekly episodes on society and counterculture, subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. For regular updates, show notes, and links, head to the mcs1show.com or search AOL keyword MCS1.
Woot woot.
Oof, itchy back. Yeah, you're welcome for that little insight into my
the
back.
world of Caleb.
I think everybody needs to know about how itchy my back is currently.
Oh gosh.
On a scale of 1 to really itchy, it is pretty itchy.
Pretty damn itchy. So
Give it a PDI.
Wow. So big 100 next week.
Dude, it's exciting. Yeah.
I'm pumped. I'm so pumped. Like, you don't even know. You don't even know
how pumped we are.
You don't even know. So big 100 next week. I got the show notes written for it if you haven't seen those already.
I will. Oh, hold up. Yep, I see
it
right there.
Just look over them. I think you'll. I mean, let's be real. You were here for like about all of that. So,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, exactly. So we'll go over that and then announce some shit, and then we'll be good. So same time at like normal time, right? Monday.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I am super pumped for this.